Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode in our single player world. It's actually been a few days now since we've had an episode here. We've had some other videos going up, but not an episode in this world. And I thought it's about time that we catch up with a few little things and get started on some more builds. I'm really excited to get some real building done this episode. So we're not going to be doing too much redstone this episode. I'll go ahead and fix up one thing and I'll show you guys what we're about to fix up. And that's not too big. It's not a big project. Today's project is going to be a building project, and it's going to be of somewhat a very large importance. And the reason for it is from this area here. Let's quickly get our orientation. If you guys know where this is, where's the sun right now, by the way? Good position for the sun. So where this is right now, we are standing in front of our snow village. There's a few things I want to quickly go over because I've got some really great feedback from you guys. And by the way, thank you so much for leaving awesome feedback, guys. Everything you guys say, I take into account, and it makes me think about the builds that I've done and what I want to do and what I need to do, and it's very awesome that I'm getting that. So, one thing which was almost unanimous is that this is too dark, alright? And that means we have to fix it. So, I'm going to go ahead and change this piece here over to some spruce, and I think that's going to do the trick to really just make this look a little bit more, I don't know, contrasted, and it'll make it look a lot better. Take it this way. It's going to make it look fantastic. I'm going to fix it up, and I'm taking advice from you guys, and you guys are completely right. The next thing I want to do is we want to go ahead and do a bit of planning for today. So let's quickly get a bit of our whereabouts to this village, because that helps us understand where we're going to be building. So this is a village that is eventually going to have some mountains coming around this area here. So it's going to be a big valley, and I'll show you what's going on with that from a distance, actually. But think of it this way. This village is the village along the path towards our large city that's going to be over in that area behind us there now. And what that means is that this village has to be on its guard, make sure it doesn't have any issues, doesn't have any potential threats coming through here, trying to get through to the mainland, the main city, the main kingdom that controls this area. And that's what I'm trying to go for with this one. Now, one other thing before I continue any further was this house. I actually didn't see too many people not liking it. I saw a lot of people kind of iffy about it. No one seemed too impressed. I wasn't very happy with it. I'm sure you guys could have told that. So we're going to go and do something in the next few episodes. Crazy to this place. Crazy. It's not going to look the same. In fact, it shouldn't look the same. Else I've done something wrong. So that's not today's episode. We're going to kind of just step away, ignore this house, pretend there's nothing there, and we're going to come back to it a bit later. So what my plan is not today's episode, but we want to get a big mountain there. And it's going to kind of do a U shape around to the back where that is there, like all this stuff here, and all the way around and connects up here. And I've mentioned this before, but it's going to be a fairly large mountain. And if you guys haven't seen some of the terraforming I do, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be large, and I'm going to do that in the next few days. So we should hopefully have a pretty good base to build off. So what I'm doing today is, before I do that, I want to get my whereabouts as to how big this village has to be, exactly what we're going to be doing. So I'm thinking that what we're going to have is we're going to have this entrance here. We're going to be putting a few things stacked around the place to really fill this place out, make it feel alive, make it feel like people are actually living here. But then I was planning on doing a little bit of a market area somewhere around here. I'm just going to use these as random planning blocks, may as well. These will work quite well. Put those in there. And what I'm planning on doing is just having this area here being a bit of a market. We'll go up a few levels here, and I think this is going to look really good with some stairs. So let's just go here. And by the way, the thought is that this is not going to be a very rich, wealthy city that we're looking at here. Okay, so trust me, this might not look like much now, but it's going to look very good by the time we're done with it. So I'm getting some steps going up here, and maybe even another level up as well. Yeah, another level. That'll be good. So we're going up 3 levels here. And the reason for that is it's going to be a nice area to work with. And this area up in this direction here is going to be our market area, and I've got a plan for this. I've got the idea that this village is going to have a fairly large market. Larger compared to what we've built before, but not large in terms of what the main city's market's going to be. And we're going to have a whole bunch of just small vendors trying to sell their goods, like chickens and stuff like that. Now, that's what I'm planning on doing, just like your basic sorts of stuff coming from here, and then also having a really nice looking well in the middle where people come. And I want a bit of a story about this well, where people could perhaps throw their wishes in, drop their wishes in, like kind of like a wishing well, of course, for the sake of this village wishing for peace or something like that. I don't know. We'll think about it, and we could maybe come up with something together. So if you've got any ideas, seriously, leave them down in the comments, and we'll have a look at them. And you never know, it might still make its way into this world. One thing before I carry on with any other projects, because we're about to get started on this, is this over here, this brazier. Everyone seemed to really like it. A very simple build, and I think it turned out great. So that is really, really great. You see, we got some builds that need improvement, and some builds that we think look fantastic. So always good feedback. Good feedback, whether we like it or not. We can always improve stuff, and that's the whole point of this build. So what I want to do before I go any further is I want to update you guys on a bit of stuff that's been happening outside of the YouTube videos. And what I mean when I say update you guys on some of this stuff, I'm talking about in the streams, in and outside of the streams, actually. Even between streams, I'd still do a lot of work on this world. And in fact, we've put in a lot of effort in this world, a lot of work so far. We're still very, very early in the series, and we've achieved so much, and it's always overwhelming to think of just how much we've done already. It's absolutely insane. But what I'm about to show you has been, remember a few episodes ago when I said we're going to separate a bit of the Twitch stuff, a bit of the YouTube stuff, we're going to pull it all together, and this is a bit of an update, a little bit of a tour of one of the big projects we've been working on in the stream. So have a look at this thing right over here. Look at that. Still not complete. It's a work in progress. But this is the inn. It's kind of like a tavern / inn along the way from the mainland to our village. And if I could give you guys a bit of perspective as to where this is, and this, by the way, has been quite a lot of hours put into this project, and it's been a lot of learning. This is the main thing, learning for when we get to the big city. And this is actually the sort of stuff we're going to do, a lot larger builds where we can add a lot more detail into it, and kind of like what I've been trying in the flower farm and learning from that as well. That's what we've been learning. So over there, look at that thing there. That is the enchanting tower right over there, which means the stables are around there. You can actually see them there. And the village is somewhere back there, but it's not too far. You just can't see it because of the trees. So this over here is the inn. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having like a bar sort of area for people to stop over on their way to, for instance, go out to the ocean or to go to this village or go to that village over there. So that's, well, the village in the future, of course. So as we walk in here, I've gone ahead for this really neat looking design. I think it looks pretty good. We're still doing, as I say, much work into it. And if you guys do want to have a look at how we're doing this, every stream we're doing a little bit of work on a few different projects, and this is one of those projects. And it's been over, I think, about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 streams. Who knows? Maybe even more. But we've just been doing little bits and pieces, finished the roof off, finished off the walls, and then today, actually, in the stream, I've put in these neat looking little arches in here, and I think they look absolutely awesome. Look at them. Just one of those things where I've just kind of slapped a few blocks together, and that went right from the beginning, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, and it looks so damn good, it's really, really rewarding. So that's what we've got here, and it's going to have a bit of a table here, maybe 2 tables, and eventually the plan is once we've got this whole hallway, the eating hall planned out, I want to break out this way and go down, let me just go down here, and give you some perspective, and make this go out a bit more this way to perhaps a tower or perhaps a large area similar to this one, where we'll have a bunch of sleeping quarters and stuff for people who, for instance, want to stay the night in this place. That's the thought of it, and I thought it would be a nice little project to update you guys on, because I'm having a lot of fun with it. Alright, so I've gone ahead and I've done quite a bit of work just planning this area out, and you're going to get ready for a lot of stone. Just do not panic, hold your horses. I'm going to get to what's going on here. I'm going to explain to you what's happening, and how the sun's going down, how this creative process is happening. So, I told you, we're going to have a very big area up here. This is actually the level I stopped at, right over here. And I know it feels kind of tall and stuff like that, but do not fear. What we're going to do is we're going to be planning out now where the mountain's going to go. So I'm going to plan out where the mountain will go, and this will be the level of that. So it will actually not look like it's too high, because think of it. We're going to have this big donut-shaped mountain. Well, not donut, U-shaped mountain. Well, the donut must just be on my brain, but a U-shaped mountain. And what that's going to be allowing us to do with that area back there is having it to be completely normal, you know what I mean? Make it look like the ground is actually going up here. So what I want to do is I want to show you what's happening. I've got these stairs going up here, just kind of a gradual slope moving up this way. I want to have this area over here kind of, probably, we can either have a house built in here, or we could, alternatively, from a house, we could also just have this as a drop off to here, and just make some really interesting looking things with that. So I'm leaving these as opportunities for us to build stuff. And trust me, if you think it doesn't look too good now, give me about a week with this build, and we're going to have this build looking completely different. And I guarantee you that what we've done here will look very, very good. So if you guys are panicking, do not worry. I have complete faith in us pulling this together. So that is the first little bit. We're having these stairs going up here. And what I want to do today is I want to get this area here sort of fixed up a little bit, making it look a little bit more respectable. I've got these pillars in here, and I want to do some stuff with them. So as we go in here, this is where my market area is planned. So this is going to be a big area over here, and I'm going to have the well right about here-ish. We'll work it out. And I'm actually planning on this being a little bit bigger than what I've done in the last village. Because of course this is a much bigger village. It needs a much bigger well. And also everything is going to be scaled up a little bit. And that's the aspect I'm trying to grab here. Is we're going from the smaller builds in that first village to these larger builds. For instance, there at the inn that I just showed you, these builds here, the flower farm, many builds just going bigger and bigger and bigger. So that is the plan, at least, and I'm pretty excited to see the way these turn out. So while I'm busy with this, I also want to quickly just thank you guys for also having a look at the most recent video of us, which I did mention a bit earlier in the episode. The most recent video that we did on how to build the lighthouse that we built in I think it was episode 3 or 4, I don't know. I can't remember already. But that lighthouse that we built, a lot of people were requesting a tutorial on how to do it, and you know what? I gave it a try, and it seems like everyone really, really liked it. So expect to see a lot more tutorials on this channel, and of course, it won't be as a matter of tutorials versus this. It'll be a bit of both. You know what I mean? I'm down to do both. So if you guys ever have anything you would like me to show you how to build that I've built already, I've got many suggestions already, and I've got a lot of videos coming out ahead of me. So I'm gonna have to plan out a lot of videos. But if ever you guys do have anything you want to see, or something you maybe had a question about that you reckon would go well in a video, let me know. Let me know in the comment section of whatever video we're on, and I'll try my hardest to at least get to that. So it's really something that I would like to help you guys out with if you guys have questions, and also I know it'll help a lot of people as well. So let me quickly finish this off and have a look and see if the hunch of having the spruce versus having the dark oak in there, and I've got to change those over. Those, let me just press F3. That is, stairs. Okay. So we need to actually place those up there. We'll have to get them. We'll get them a bit later, actually. Let me just do this, and one here, and no, it was one higher. There and there. And then we'll put in, I'll just put that in there for now. Even though I know it's not the one that's meant to be there, we'll have a look at it. Yep, that looks much better. In fact, I'm almost kind of tempted to keep it like that. But I'll change it over. But I feel like it actually doesn't look too bad like that. So that is what I'm going to do now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to go ahead over here and put these things in here. So if you guys were wondering, where did I get all this stone from? How did I get so much stone? Because now that we have an experience farm, as of the last episode with our whole ender farm, and by the way, guys, that video, as I say, that farm design was not mine, and I had a link in that last video, and there's a lot of questions about it. A lot of people tell me how to make it more efficient, and a lot of people asking me how it works. It's a very simple design, and I'm really glad that a lot of people have built things similar to that, and can give me a few tips on how to make it a little bit more efficient than what it is right now. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, something like that. We'll work this out. Let's have a look there. And there. And not only that, also, by the way, a lot of people are quite interested with our little challenge we've got going on, with the challenge to build a storage system for 1 million ender pearls. And you know what? I thought it was going to be a big job, but as we go in, I'm realizing it's going to be much bigger than what I even thought it was going to be. So that is going to be super exciting. And I've already got a lot of people who've given me different statistics and different, calculations, really, is the word I'm looking for, on how big this thing is going to be. And it is going to be absolutely ginormous, guys. It is going to be massive. And it's all part of the fun, you know? It's all part of the fun, you know? We didn't get to build our own end farm, you know. I wanted to do everything ourselves, but turns out we didn't get that, but we've got something a little bit better. And what I'm doing here, by the way, is I'm thinking of just building a little fire in here. I think this could look kind of cool with the fires all around this village, heating it up. I think that could be kind of interesting, and I just wanted to try this out quick. Let's get this out there, and put a few of these here. Just rough planning, testing out. And this is, by the way, what I do a lot of the time, is just try things, and normally they don't really work, to be completely honest. But it's always worth a try. And by the way, if you guys are wondering how I'm doing this thing right now, going 1 block tall and going underneath that, because I'm wearing my elytra, if I can activate my elytra while I'm in the air, like, look at this, while I'm like that, I can make my elytra quickly pop on. If you can do that while pushing forward into a block, you can actually kind of move into the block for a little bit. Depending on the block, some blocks you can actually go right under. I can explain that to you in a future video if you guys would like to know what the rules are, at least for passing through blocks and stuff like that. But it's all fairly simple. So let's do that there, and we'll sort this out, making it look a little bit nicer eventually. But for now, it's testing time. So does the fire look all right in this area? There, and these here. I haven't missed a spot. That one there is a little bit too big. I'm gonna have to go with something about that size. But that's why I say we plan it out. It normally doesn't work, but we give it a try. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And while we are busy with this, because this is actually gonna take me a little bit of time, I'm gonna go ahead and change this area up a little bit. Take you to, oh, that wasn't very smart. Take you guys to the next stage in this build. And that will be quite a bit of a difference. So before we do that, I want to get to that redstone project that I was talking about a bit earlier in this video. And actually, I just realized I lost track on what I was saying. With how we got all this stone, is we have now got a slime farm going on in the server, on the world. So we've been building, just hollowing out a few slime chunks out on stream, and I'll show you guys that in a future episode. It's not actually done, but we're in the process of digging these things out, and that is why we've got a lot more stone than what we had in the last video. So it's definitely awesome to be able to build these big things, because we're getting our hands on a bunch more resources. And here we have the absolutely gigantic mob farm as well. We've got many gigantic things already on this world, but this mob farm is not complete. And I don't know if you guys know, but this one actually we did have a lot of trouble with, and I've had issues with the observers. Take it that way. And now I've got a solution, a fix to this, which is actually the way it's meant to be in the video that I would have got this from originally. And I've just decided to go ahead from that and give it a go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and fly up. I've managed to get a few fireworks. And this farm is actually going to be very, very useful to us in many, many ways. Also, I repaired my elytra. That is a very useful thing to have done because it was almost dead. So in this farm over here, we're going to get a lot of different stuff. And one of the things we need to complete this farm is we need to get ourselves some string, because we need a lot of dispensers. And I'll show you my setup here. And this is why we needed these slime blocks. So I've AFK'd at my slime farm. It isn't actually much of a farm. It's more just an area where slime spawn, and I was just waiting for them to spawn so I could kill them. But this is pretty much what's happening here. So let me just get rid of these and these over here. So the top layer we'll ignore because that's a fairly different layer. But basically what's happening is we've got some dispensers here. And what these dispensers will do is every few seconds, when we want this mob farm to work, we'll get these dispensers to dispense a bucket of water that'll spread out this way and push all the mobs off of this onto that area there. So that'll work very, very well. Now, the only thing is that when the mobs do, when this works like this, we need to have this block over here, this slime block, because there's no other way for me to pull this up. So what I've got to do is I needed to get a lot of slime blocks, and then we have to just kind of put them through. So I'll explain what happens here, basically. This block gets powered. Imagine the block was still there. And it pushes this down, which unpowers this dispenser and powers this one, which will have the exact same mechanism. So that block there being powered powers this again. So down there, which unpowers the next dispenser. So all of these dispensers just get unpowered all the way down to level 1. This is level 16 over there. And then what happens is when this comes back, all of these get powered again. So it switches this off and all of the dispensers let go of whatever they're holding, which is the bucket of water. So that's the way it works. Basically, before all I had was observer, detecting, detecting. And that wasn't working because the observers were bugged out. So this is going to be a very, very good thing. So how about we do the next one together so I can kind of explain to you guys. So picture these as some dispensers. Just imagine for a second that those there are some dispensers. What we need to do is we need to have this block over here, like this. There we go. Okay, cool. This block over here will have to be a full block. So let me do this here. Full block over there. And the reason being, oh, my apologies, full block over here. And the reason being that needs to power the blocks around it, so we'll do that there. And this will get powered over here. So we'll go down one more level. And do I have a button on me? I do not. That's all right. We can do this the old-fashioned way. Do this here. And this over here will need to have a piston in it over there. And when that redstone dust there gets powered, it'll push this one over here. With one of these over here. And that'll just keep this whole system going down all the way. And I might have actually messed this up just a little bit. But pretty much what we're doing now is we're just setting these things to go off with one another. And I don't know if I did mention, by the way, before I go. This system over here is going to solve out our problem. Because we can actually manually make this work to push out any mobs that spawn here. And take whatever spawns we get. For instance, like that spider over there. and get the string that we need for the dispensers. So basically, this farm's going to be completing itself. Alright, so I'm bringing you guys back in here just to show you what's going on, and perhaps give a little bit of a building tips lesson. Man, I forgot to do the rest of that. I'm gonna have to do that at some stage. But maybe just give a few tips, because I know a lot of people do enjoy the tips that we give on this channel. Hopefully they go to good use. So what I'm gonna do now, because I can hear some mobs that have spawned underneath there, we're just gonna do that for a bit. And I'm gonna go and, of course, forget to change that back and get hit off in the nether by a ghast, but you know, that's not a problem. So what I'm doing here, this is what I thought would be kind of cool to come into, is just let me show you what's going on. Let me just quickly step back before I forget to even show you what's going on here. So walking in here, look at this. Look at how this is looking. I think this is looking fantastic. Just these things. Just picture it now, guys. We've got the majestic cloud horse over there galloping across the sky. We've got these beautiful buildings going on here. This building will be roughly this height with this mountain over here. Just going all the way around there with a little bit more over here, a few more buildings. I reckon it's going to look really awesome, and imagine a big tower at the end there. I think that is going to top this village off completely. And I actually, you know what, I had a few thoughts about this. I'm like, you know, I don't know if I do like it. I like it. I know it's going to probably, if there's something that's going to cause a little bit of controversy, you guys might not like this, but I think I like it quite a lot. So change my mind. And here we go. Little bit of building lesson. All right. So this is at least something I could stand to be corrected, but this is my way of thinking of it. All right. So adding in a lot of stone, a lot of people would probably do this whole piece over here with stone brick. Let's be honest. That's probably the thing that people are going to go and lend themselves towards. But my opinion on that is stone brick is a very monotonous texture. And if you have a look at this, look at that. Very, very boring. And I'm going to change this up a little bit. So for instance, by doing that, adding in a little bit of stuff here. And this is called texturing. So if ever you guys hear me talk about texturing an area, this is what I'm talking about. Adding in a bit of different textures. Specifically, stone is a very good one to do it to, because stone, of course, is what a lot of people would build with majoritively, like stone brick and stuff like that. And you've got so many variants. Minecraft is built around these blocks, and that's why it's so good to use. You can really make some really cool differences in here. And look at that. Oh, snap. That was not a smart move on my part. All right, let's just do this. Ah, that's good. That's good. All right, let's go back to this thing. So as I say, it's all built around these things. And already, look at that. Look at the difference that adding that in has made. And really what I find makes the biggest difference is adding in just the plain stone along with this. Look at that. Just changing it up ever so slightly. But already looking good. And you see these patterns here, like you can see there's a lot of stuff in there. Just break it up a little bit. There we go. Now we've broken it up, and I think that's looking really good. So this is what I'm going to do. Basically, I've got a little bit of a thought behind where I do it. It's not really too important, but something that I like to do is use the very rough cobblestone. Look at that. It's very hard texture. Very, very rough. And I kind of edge it off a little bit with this over here, the andesite, as if it's sort of a texture that's got a bit of broken down ground. I mean, really, that's what it is. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab some stone bricks and some cracked stone bricks, which I think complement that very, very well. So we do that there. And if ever you guys do want to check this out, I have tried to make a video on it on my channel. I can put that in the description. If I forget, please remind me. I'd love to put it in there if anyone wants to check it out. So there we go. Look at that. Already just matching in here. Look at that. Look at this. You know what the cool thing about it is? This mark over here, this little bit of a texture carries on across this block into that there. So as soon as I do that, you can kind of see they just merge in very, very well together. And even here, even the andesite in these blocks, look at this. For instance, this little circle here. Very good to just match in together and make this area look really, really good. So of course you could kind of do a few random blocks around there. But overall, this is the way I do it. I just kind of add a bit in wherever I can, and also save on resources by using slabs whenever I can as well. So there we go, adding those together, because of course they work fantastically together. They're the bricks and the bricks. And there, very, very good. And then, of course, you can add in some of the mossy cobblestone and the mossy stone brick. Mossy cobblestone I would really, really use very sparingly. And the mossy stone brick you can use in also quite sparingly. Don't go too crazy with these. This is one thing I've learned, is you can't really go too crazy with the greens, else it starts to go a bit overwhelming. So we'll do that, and we'll go and spread these across over here to make it look... Oh, no, that is not what I intended to do. There we go. Just like that, you see? Very, very easy. And it adds a lot of texture, and I think it looks really, really good when it's done. So judge for yourself. I'm going to go ahead and do this whole platform, and then we're going to go and put in the well over here. And we're coming in again from afar, and look at that. That is looking super, super good. It's pretty much the same thing I've just showed you, but it's just something that I'm really, really happy with. It's slowly turning out. Now, if you guys can, just picture what this thing's going to look like in your own minds. Trust me, as I say, if you guys don't have faith in me, give it a week. Give it a week, and we're going to have some pretty good-looking stuff going on here. Big, beautiful, and I think we're going to have this thing looking really, really good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to set out, I've kind of planned out very, very quickly the shape of this, and what is going on here? Do we have a lighting glitch? Of course we do. Of course we do. It's because of these blocks under here. Maybe if I put a slab there, that works, and then we get it over there. No, that's not a problem. We'll fix it up. We'll fix it up. Underneath here, I'm actually planning on slabbing this area so that we don't get any lighting coming through from torches or something which stop the mobs. But the mobs aren't a problem for now. I'm probably going to regret saying that because we're probably just about to get blown up by a creeper that comes around, but that's not a worry for me. That's not a worry for me. Now, if anyone's mentioning, I know I'm probably going to get these suggestions to build a fountain in here, and the reason I'm not building a fountain is because I don't think it actually will suit the village that we're doing here. I don't think it's actually going to fit into my idea, at least, of this village. I want this to look, I know it's looking a little bit grand right now in some respects, but I want it to not look very grand. And there's the creeper, said creeper to explode on everything. Okay, we'll get this guy. Easy. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this down here like this, and we'll actually do some texturing. And as I say, guys, if you can do that to your builds, I guarantee you that'll be another thing that'll improve them significantly if you didn't do that already. And if you did, and you were maybe lost a little bit, because I was lost a little bit when I started with them. I used to actually use these blocks as my main block, and then use these as like a little accent block, but really this should be a main block and these should be the additions, you know, like have that as your canvas, the plain boring old stone, and use the rest of it as the additions to add to it. So definitely think about it that way, and everything will look a lot better than what it did before. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. So this is something I'm just going to quickly put in here. I guess I could just, I'll come back. I'll make this little hole in here, and I think the sun's about to go down. So, can I sleep yet? Probably can't. Alright, so I'll quickly sleep. I'll dig that little hole there, and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is what I've come up with here, and originally I was thinking of just having an open well without any supports on the sides to make a little bit of a roof, but then it dawned on me that the ice is actually busy freezing as we're doing this. And that's because, of course, we're in a, what is this, snow plains? What is it called? Ice plains biome. And, of course, that's not going to be a very good time if we wanted to have that there. So I'm going to have to improvise and put a roof into this thing, which is probably what was expected in any case. So it's not too much of an issue. In fact, let me just try and work out this roof here very, very quickly. Let me see. Do I want to do it the full height that I've gone up there? Let's just picture it from back here. So walking up here, by the way, I've put in a bit of snow here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Yeah, we definitely want to get rid of one level on that. That's a little bit too high. And I also have mistakenly, possibly, misplaced my good pick, the Silk Touch pick. I've got this old one again, so it may break on us. Let's hope it, I think it should survive. I think it was on 150 durability, which is more than enough, but we may very well have a little bit of a surprise. And that's expected. All right, so we'll do that there, and something like that. And that there, and just kind of sample it as we go. Let's check if we can get this right. There we go. Okay. Oh, no. Right. Perfect. So we do that there, and then let's get a central piece here so we can see just how tall we want this build to be. Go here. That is the middle. Is that right? Yep. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's a good height. Good height, I think. Alright, so let's go up here. We'll do something like this. And I'll have to do that there. And just work it up. This is how I tend to do these roofs. I just work them up here. And I can see, like, look at this now. That is obviously not going to make it there. Quite clearly, that's not going to make it up to that. So we could try and get it as tall as we can. So we can maybe do something like that. Something like that. And now, all we're compromising should be a half a block. So if we do it up here. There. Actually, why am I getting rid of that? Let me put that there. So you see there? There we go. We've got something that'll work. That'll work. So then I'll just go here, and I'm trying to use the dark oak as well, by the way, guys. I don't know if I'm going a little bit crazy with dark oak, because I never used to like dark oak, but I feel like it's actually working really well in a lot of the builds we're doing here. So I might have a new block that I'm kind of liking around here, which is always a good time. Always good to have change my block choices at least, because you end up getting stuck in a rut where you just keep using the same blocks because they're the ones you know and love, and you end up not exploring a few blocks. And I think it's good to sometimes just try it out and try something new. And I think this is one of those moments where I actually can use them. And that's actually some limitations of our old world, is we ended up having a lot of blocks that we just wouldn't fit into our palette because we were using the one, really working in the one area, so it just wouldn't have fitted. Okay, that won't work. I'm not a fan of these stairs, like when I put the stairs like that. What I can do though is maybe try something over here like this. There. And there. How does that look? Yeah, that'll look good. It's a very busy roof, but I think this will actually look very, very good. So I'm going to go ahead and put it all in so we can see exactly what it looks like. Okay, guys, I really wanted to show you what this looks like at this time of night. Look at that. How beautiful is that looking? Sun's going down. That there is the screenshot. That is the thumbnail that we need. I've just missed it. I'm going to have to wait around for the next night because that is the thumbnail for this episode. 100%. It is so beautiful. But what I want to show you, now it's going a bit dark, which is a little bit horrible. But you know what I want to show you is this over here, the well that I've got going on here. Let's just get rid of the night. How about we just quickly get rid of this night, and then we won't have any trouble with it. So, bam. It's not too far away now, is it? By the way, these two together, that shulker box and that shulker box, always make me look like make me think that there's a zombie. Look at that. Like, out the corner of your eyes, the zombie colors. You see that? You see the, let me push T here. The leg, there, looks like the arms. 100% looks like a zombie. Very, very distracting. I can't say I haven't fallen for it a few times already. Like, bam, zombie. So, this is what I've got. I've finished off the roof. I think it's looking very, very good. We've obviously got these little pieces here, and going in here, I've done some extra things. I've done this little lip going off the side here. I've broken up some of those, and I'm actually going to keep this going down eventually. We'll have something going on down there, but it's a matter of time before we add them in. Maybe there's a zombie that picked up a block there, because I heard a block get picked up just then. So I've got ahead, added in some of these here, and I know the suggestion is going to be for vines. And yes, I will put some vines in here. It's just a matter of me going back to the base and grabbing some vines. I didn't think it was one of the things that will make a massive difference if I did or didn't do that. So I was like, I'll just save it for when I need to do a big return to the base. There we go. We'll add some of them in. And I've actually got some of these cobblestone. I've got the mossy cobblestone walls which we can put in there. But overall, I think this build is looking very, very good. The only thing I think I could add is a bucket going down there, but I almost like it just as like a well without anything in it, you know? I don't know. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about that as well. But for today, guys, this episode has been a crazy episode. I've loved this building. I've just me thinking about it and just how this is going to turn out. I've been super, super excited this whole episode for just getting this whole build going, like getting more stuff built up here. I've got a good feeling about it, guys. As I say, I think you can tell. I think you can tell that I've got a very good feeling about this. So I think this is going to turn out absolutely great. I can't wait for the next episode already. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Whoa, that is not F5. That is F5. Bye-bye.